Is that a good view?
Yeah. If you can see everything.
Is that a good view? What's up, everybody? What's good? What it do? I guess that's not bad. Not horrible.
You can see our couch.
Oh, yeah. You can see our downstairs living room from here.
Yes. And you can see the bug zapper, too.
Last time I pulled the table out, I didn't know she didn't want to do that. She just wanted to leave this table where it was.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll leave it where it is next time. So now we're up against the wall. I guess it's okay.
Look, you can see the little bug zapper down there.
Oh.
There was a fly in the house. So I was trying to zap it, but then the cat got it, so I didn't have to do it. The perks of pets.
Perks of pets. All right, what is up, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to another round of the weekly live readings. 2222. That's a good number, too. And again, the list is not big. Most people like to wait until we're live, and that's totally cool. Mm-hmm. But the people who order first get read first, so.
Agreed. So we do have a normal list. Nothing too crazy. About 7 people.
Let me give us a couple shares. The only reason I have to do that is because we're in landscape, and ever since YouTube changed the algorithm, when I go live in landscape, like nobody gets notified for it. People only get notified when I go live, when I'm live in portrait. Mm-hmm. So
how did everybody sleep last night? Because I did not get good sleep, and it seems like we asked Jessica, she said she couldn't sleep, and then you couldn't sleep. I just did not. It was hard for me to fall asleep.
These past few days, it's been heavy energetically, dude. Like, I'm ready for this fucking retrograde to be over. This is, I don't want to say this is the worst one, but it's up there.
I would say this, I would rank this maybe 4. The 4th.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Like the worst, out of the worst ones, like this comes in 4th place.
Yeah. I think the worst one we had was in California, wasn't it?
I don't know.
And then the second worst one was the next one after we had moved back.
There was one pretty bad here, I remember.
This is close, but this one hits you in waves. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'll be like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm good. Then all of a sudden, boom. And I'm like, I don't even know how to explain it.
And that was funny, too. Yesterday, I was about to say, it hits you in waves. And then the song playing on the radio was Waves.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it's by. And then I looked over at the closest license plate because I was just kind of scanning, and it said 888. And I was like, wow, that's literally confirmation right there. Yeah. So anyways, good morning, everybody. Or I guess some people it's not morning. Unless you are on the East Coast or in another country. It might be nighttime for some people.
Yeah, it's morning over here. All right.
Do I look like I'm going on a safari, you guys? Safari hat?
I think it's a cool outfit.
It's
cute.
Hair wash day, so aka safari hat day.
All right.
So yeah, you want to get started with our list, or is there anything you wanted to say?
Not really. Is everything pinned?
Yep, everything is in the comments. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm in the comments. And yeah, just know that these videos stay up so you can come back for future reference and rewatch your reading at any time. Your name will be timestamped in the comments. And yeah.
And you don't have to say your name if you don't want.
You could be a naughty mouse.
A naughty mouse. You can be anonymous or whatever. You can have any alias you want, and it'll be timestamped in the comments when it's done. So
yes. So with that being said, we'll get into it here. We have May, who is a Pisces, and the question is: does my younger coworker have a crush on me? We have worked together for 8 months now, and he acts different towards me.
All right. Well, let's see. First, you know what I got to look at first?
That's soul contract.
Soul contract. That gets straight to the point. So you all have had many lifetimes together. Now, I don't normally get this kind of specific information. It's just kind of whenever spirit feels like it needs to come through. But y'all may have been parent and child in a previous lifetime. I'm getting that real strong, which is strange. That kind of stuff doesn't normally come through. But I mean, you all have been really close in a previous lifetime. And so there's a really strong connection. I like to call it soul recognition. You know, you can call it whatever you want, but so I mean, I don't really think there's a contract, but I do think that this is a really close member of your soul family. So I can see whether or not that's like romantic or whatever the case may be. Let's see. Four swords reversed. King of Cups, yeah, probably a little bit. But also, too, this individual, I kind of feel like this individual is bottling up a lot. Like a lot. Feels like this person's very insecure, just bottles up a lot. And there's a whole other side of this person's personality that you don't know. So I don't know if you're just asking that out of curiosity, or maybe if you plan to see if you can take this somewhere, but I would say be careful with that, because with that 9 of Swords, see, you ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out what's going on in there. This person is a mess. And King of Wands, King of Swords reversed. I think this person's a ticking time bomb, bottling up so much that you get in there, you get close enough, and you push the wrong button, boom. Because like I said, this is an abnormally strong connection anyways. And, you know, when somebody feels that and they don't understand why they feel that, that can trigger your insecurities. So I would say, yeah, though, to answer your question as directly as possible. I think so. A little bit, yeah.
Okay, next is for Al, and they are Cancer. It says, it has been a long ride with Tasha over 10 years. Are we going to have a future together, lasting future together, lots of issues?
So are y'all currently together? Let's see the soul contract and or the soul connection. Either or. 8 of Pentacles reversed. 10 years. I mean, don't get it twisted. I don't ever want to lead anyone to believe that any relationship is supposed to be perfect with no issues and no problems. But it's like after a certain point, I would think 10 years, whether or not there's going to be a future should probably not be a question by that point, I would imagine. I think it's kind of one-sided here. Both of you haven't really been working together on the same page at the same time. I'm seeing Karmic Wheel World card reverse. That's repeat cycle. Loop-de-loop and repeat. Loop-de-loop and repeat. Most of the time, if it's gone on that way for 10 years, it'll probably go that way for 10 more years. For real. Most of the time, that's usually the way it goes down. So, Empress reversed. So there is karma here. So there's definitely a soul contract. And karma just means it's unfinished from a past life. It doesn't mean it's supposed to be bad. But the world card reversed is the repeat cycle card, which, after a certain point, if nothing has changed, I would say, just generally speaking, this isn't like spiritual advice or tarot advice, just generally speaking from common sense when you're just observing something from afar. If something keeps looping around and repeating the same cycle for 3 years, then the likelihood that it's going to change is slim. It could. I'm not saying that it can't, but once something's been going on for 3 years, 4 years, you start to get really comfortable with that. That pattern picks up momentum and it's moving really, really fast, and 10 years though, it's going to take a whole lot of work to undo that and change that pattern. And it takes time. Mm-hmm. It'll probably take, 6 months to a year just to make the changes and get comfortable with those changes. You know what I'm saying? So.
Plus, I feel like you guys are so used to being who you've been for 10 years. So it's like, you are who you are. Does that make sense? I don't really know how to word that. Kind of like what's gonna push each other's buttons, or you guys are just so used to each other. So it's like changing would be, you guys would both have to be on that same page. Like we're both gonna change, because if one person does it, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, and it sucks. Changing sucks and it's hard. And when you start making a change, you're looking at minimum 6 months before that change starts becoming comfortable and second nature. So we got the karmic wheel again, 10 of Cups reversed. So now don't get it twisted. I do think that the soul contract is supposed to be long-term in life partnership, but getting both of you on the same page at the same time, working towards the same goal is the challenge here. And again, it's hard. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing to do. It's challenging. It's very difficult. But
you guys have to hold each other accountable. Like if you guys both really want to do it, then you have to make sure you guys are keeping each other in check in a nice way. Like have a code word or something. Like make it silly and fun. Not, you're doing that fucking thing again that I don't fucking like. Or normal trigger responses that you guys do. You have to catch yourself and then, or just have a code word.
Yeah, the code word, silly. That is a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember when you first suggested that, I thought it was silly, but tarot tale. Mm-hmm. But it actually turned out to be helpful, or just something,
Yeah, I think the code word is good because then it's you've already explained yourself once before, so you're not constantly repeating over and over and over the same bullshit. You're just saying red crayon. Okay, whenever I say the word red crayon, that means you're doing that shit we just talked about that you were not supposed to be doing no more, or vice versa, whatever it is. Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And then that way you kind of make it a funny word. If you make it a funny word, it's better because then you can kind of giggle at it and then you're like, oh yeah, I guess I am doing that thing again. Or, and then it's not as brutal as
that's
what the fuck? I told you not to fucking do that.
That's an idea coming from the mind of a Saggy right there.
Yeah. That would be interesting to know what their partner's sign is.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Hope that helps.
Okay, so next is for Abby. Abby is a Libra. Well, me and my ex get back together. We broke up 2 weeks ago, but we were together for 2 years.
All right. Let's see if separation was in the soul contract. Fool card. 3 shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. 10 of Wands. King of Pentacles. Well, No, I don't really think separation was in this soul contract, at least not yet. I don't think it was completed successfully. I don't think so. I think that, see, 2 years, that's right around the sweet spot where it's time to make it to the next level, you know, because the two of you are going to be having to constantly level up with each other. And that doesn't mean good level, bad level. It's not like better level. It's just the next level of evolution. When you want to build a life partnership with somebody, it's a growth process. It's an evolutionary process that never really stops. And right around that 2-year mark, I mean, everybody's path is different. And, you know, everybody's path is unique. But generally speaking, around that 2-year mark, that's when, you know, it's about level up time to the next level. And one, the other, or both of you wasn't leveling up. So, you know, it comes to a point where if one of you's leveling up, but the other one is not, then after a certain point, the two of you have to part ways by way of universal law. You know, but I don't think that it was supposed to end in separation. I don't think so. So I guess let's get this person's feelings, energies, and intentions. See how they see you, how they feel about you, their thoughts, feelings, and opinions, hopes, dreams, and expectations.
I was going to say that.
Magician. Knight of Wands, King of Swords. Well, the Eight of Cups reversed. This person isn't moving on from this very easily. I don't know. This kind of feels like a battle between heart and mind, where the best example I can come up with is like, have you ever been fired from a job that you like? Like a job you really want, you didn't want to leave. And it's like, well, it is what it is. I have no choice but to move on. That's what this feels like. They feel like they have no choice but to end it. And I think little do they know that, no, they do have a choice. It's just a leveling up. It's time to level up. It's time for both of us to shift into the next version of ourselves, you know? And with the Knight of Wands energy here, maybe this person's not quite mature enough to even understand how to do that. See, that's the thing that, well, especially doing what I do for a living, that I've learned over the years is that I'm not saying that there are no shitty, nefarious people out there, but very, very, very frequently, a lot of relationships go down the drain, not because somebody doesn't want to work on it, not because they refuse to work on it, because they don't know how. They have no idea how. Most people have no idea how to build a life partnership. And I think a lot of it has to do with, like, in the last few decades, one thing that's been becoming normal in our society is broken homes. So there's lots and lots and lots of people who were raised in single parent homes. And, you know, so if you were raised in a single parent home, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but one of the disadvantages to it is you never see what commitment looks like between two people. You never even see it. You grow up your whole life and you never get to witness that. You know, like, and that's one thing I did grow up with was my grandparents. They got together when they were Nevaeh's age, stayed together until death did them part.
That's how my grandparents were. They got together when they were 13.
Yeah.
And I wanted that so bad. Literally, I was like, okay, I'm 13 now. I better go find my partner.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought the same thing too. I thought the same thing. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. That's what my grandparents did. But
and then our generation, though, was like, that's when things are not like taken as serious, I guess.
Yeah. So
that's when the music all came out about cheating and having multiple hoes, and then the girls only wanting like rich guys or like whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I mean, I would give it, just based on the way the energy looks here, I'd give it about a 60% chance that I think there will be a reconciliation attempt, just because the contract is incomplete and this person is not moving on from it. So I think so.
Yeah.
But again, commitment, that means commit. That means you in it, you know? So, all right.
All right. Next we have Anonymous.
Naughty mouse.
You got your little trash can?
No, I forgot it.
I'll get it for you.
Okay.
All right. Anonymous is a Virgo. How does my old best friend view me? We haven't spoken in 4 years.
All right. Is it full?
No, that's a good one.
Let's get 3 shuffles. There's 1, 2, and 3. Very guarded. Very, very guarded towards you. Temperance reversed. I think still kind of holding on to a little bit of bitterness and resentment with the Queen of Swords reversed. But with the 7 of Swords reversed, I think this person feels a little bit guilty and stupid, especially if they did something wrong. You know, did this come to an end due to their actions? Did you all, I guess, have a bad falling out? Because 7 of Swords reversed. So this person feels kind of guilty and a little bit stupid, but is projecting that onto you. That's what a lot of people do when they feel guilt, is they project it, because, you know, it's easier for me to be mad at you than it is for me to be mad at myself. So if I'm feeling guilty or stupid or embarrassed, the easiest way to cope with that is to come up with all these excuses and flip it and put it on you, like you're the one that did something wrong, you know? So, yeah, I think a little bit guarded and a little bit embarrassed, you know. Let's see what the second spread says. What's the second spread say here? I'm not even looking at soul contracts or nothing. I'm just going to answer your question directly. Lover's card reversed. So they don't really feel quite as strong of a connection as they once did. Maybe they just feel like they don't really know you anymore, you know, with the Lovers in the reverse. Here, hang down the room like that. Hierophant reversed. 8 of Swords, refusing to look at the truth about the situation. I think this person does contemplate talking to you from time to time. 2 of Swords, Knight of Swords. But yeah, I just think they're, like I said, very guarded, got their guard up, a little bit bitter and pissed off, but it's more projection because they feel embarrassed and stupid. And they have not learned their lesson, by the way, with the Hierophant reversed. And they're completely refusing to look at the truth about the situation. So they do feel a sense of unfinished business, and they do contemplate whether or not to communicate to you from time to time. But I feel like they're probably a little bit too embarrassed. So
I don't see anything on there.
It's a buggy hair because I can see the light shining on it as orange.
I'm looking at the side view and I don't see anything.
Okay, it's gone. Got it. It was orange. The light hit it. It was shining orange. It's a damn buggy
Don't
hair.
blame my child.
Buggy hair.
I think it was probably Sperry.
No, it was orange. 100%.
No,
100%.
not my child. The golden child.
The orange child.
Golden one. All right, next we have Isabel. Isabel is a Leo. I want to know what a person from the past feels about me so that I can understand it and move on.
I don't know how knowing how they feel about you will help you understand it and move on. Usually the way somebody feels about you is a lot more deep and nuanced and convoluted than their behavior towards you. So I wouldn't put too many eggs into the basket of thinking that knowing this is going to help you move on. You might want to be careful with that. It's really, really, really easy. Let me tell you this. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will help you do more spiritual evolution than if you was to figure out how to move on without knowing. That's what makes you completely turn into a different person. To be able to release something without that apology, without understanding what their intentions were. If you can figure out how to release that without knowing, oh shit, you'll do quantum leaps in evolution. Quantum leaps. But just be careful because, knowing this could make it harder for you to move on. So let me see. I'm not getting a deck that I'm feeling yet. How about this one? So I think this individual is intimidated by you. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know how to explain this. This person's kind of intimidated by you, so it's like they want to kind of match that energy. And I think it stems back to an insecurity of some sort, where if a person has an insecurity and something about your personality challenges that or triggers that, then unconsciously they can take that as like a challenge, And I'm just saying this in a general sense. I'm not saying that this is one specific thing that you did or something like that. Just in a general sense, I think this person's a little bit intimidated by you. But they do have feelings for you. But they're very insecure. And I think you trigger their insecurities. So it's like they want to make a point. Generally speaking, they would rather walk away from you, shoot themselves in the foot, and hurt themselves doing it just to jab at you for attacking their insecurity when you didn't even realize you did it. It's an unspoken thing that has nothing to do. I don't even think you have a clue what I'm talking about or you might have a little bit of an idea, but even if you have a little bit of an idea, you don't understand. It's way deeper than that. Way deeper than that. So I'm trying to think of a way to word this. I don't think I've ever seen this come through like this in a reading before. So I don't have like a prepared speech for that because I've never seen it. Let me see what the next spread says. Knight of Swords. Yeah. So they kind of hold you on a bit of a pedestal, way deep down. And how am I going to word this? You trigger something in them that they're insecure about. I don't even really think they're consciously aware of it. Well, most insecure people aren't consciously aware of it. But I think you trigger something in them that they're a little bit insecure about. And they take that as a challenge. Deep down. This is deep, deep, deep down. And so the way that manifests like in the conscious mind is where they kind of want to shut that down and either be defensive or completely turned off and cold, or something that feels like it's fighting that battle that they think you're fighting against them. Does that make any sense? I'm trying to figure out how to word it, and I don't even think that does it justice, really. But yeah, very insecure individual that's intimidated by you is the best way I can put it into words as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Okay, next is for Heidi. They are Sagittarius. What does the future hold between Raphael, a Scorpio, and I? It started off well, and now shaky. I think I want to let it go.
Was that the person's last name?
Or are they a Scorpio?
A Scorpio. Is
that their
cool
last name, or were you saying a Scorpio? Like, if you're doing the talk to text, maybe it was like a Scorpio, or if that is their last name.
That's a cool name, though. I never even thought about that. A Scorpio. Isn't that a cool name?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when it's getting to a point where you think you want to let it go, that's not good. Let's see what's in the soul contract. Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles. Okay, all right. Well, so this, I think, how long has it been going on? Does it say it started off well? Well, okay, I don't know how long it's been going on, but this feels like a good old classic case of what I talk about all the time on my main channel. When you bring anything new in your life, buy a new car, move into a new house, move to a new city, or meet a new person, it's going to create this really explosive, invigorating feeling of emotions. And that is really, really effective at temporarily distracting you from your pain like a drug. Same thing that happens when you go get drunk because you've had a stressful day, distracts you from your pain. And then, that's when it starts off great, right? It starts off great because my problems go away when I'm with you. You make me feel so much better about myself, and whoop, 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 whoop. But that feeling is temporary. Just like after you buy the new car, after you've been driving it for 6 months or a year, you start noticing little things about it that you don't like. You start comparing it to other people's car, and you might even just be tired of it and ready to trade it in and get something new, right? Same thing with anything. And I think that somebody here, especially this person, was probably trying to fill some kind of void, probably from something from the past. Because I do think this person was carrying some past energy into this that was weighing on them very heavily. I don't know how long they've been holding on to that. I don't know when their last relationship was before you all got together, but yeah, so that's basically what's happening, is that in the beginning feeling. Some people call it the honeymoon phase. Some people call it the cupcake phase. You can call it whatever you want, but it starts to wear off. That feeling is temporary. And then that's when, if we never formed a real connection, then once that starts wearing off, that's when the relationships start getting rocky and going downhill, because we're not connected. Beyond that feeling of you distracting me from my problems, we never really connected. So let's see what else wants to come through here. What wants to come through, dude? King of Pentacles again. I just don't think this person has real, genuine emotions for this. Four of Swords, Two of Wands, reverse, Six of Cups again. And the Eight of Cups, Death card. So, I mean, there's potential here, but the thing is that this person has to rearrange. Is it you dealing with a male, Raphael? He would have to rearrange his priorities.
Scorpio.
he would have to rearrange his priorities. And then if he was to rearrange his priorities, then this could be something long term. But with the King of Pentacles here and the Nine of Pentacles, it just looks like he's kind of emotionally detached from this. He never formed like a real connection, not a real one. And this is kind of telling me that I would be surprised if this relationship sees 2026 without somebody walking away.
Is that the Scorpio card or is
Yep.
that the Capricorn?
That's the Scorpio. Capricorn's a devil.
Maybe he is a Scorpio then.
Probably.
Because it's next to the walking away card.
Mhm.
And he's the Scorpio. That's him riding away on his horse.
Scorpio.
Now, you know, that's going to be like a normal word in our household now, just so you know.
We do that all the
You
time.
just created a monster here.
If you were a fly on the wall at our house, when the camera's off and it's just our house, we just say the craziest, weirdest shit.
Yeah, we're weird.
You wouldn't understand half of what we're talking about most of the time.
All right, I hope that helps. Next we have Scott. Scott, are you in the chat? Because we actually need a little bit more information from you. Question is, my wife and brother are living together for the last year and a half, now ex-wife of 4 months. Do you have a timeline it started? 2 to 4 years. So we would like to know.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things here. I mean, it's usually, first of all, let's go ahead and like get the obvious out of the way. It's usually very, very difficult for me to get spirit to answer a question like that. Because usually 9 times out of 10, when somebody asks some sort of question like that, spirit comes through and says, what difference does it make? That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. That's not going to help you, you know? I'm wondering what are your plans? What are your goals? Are you trying to get back with this person? What's the goal here? Yeah, there's just a lot going because
are you wanting to know what started, like them talking?
Yeah, I mean, the best I can probably do is look at whether or not they even have a soul contract. And even that would be a little bit tricky. I can look at soul contracts and life paths to see whether or not, because hey, it would surprise you every now and then crazy shit like this happens and it's planned. But sometimes crazy shit happens, it's not planned. So
do you want to wait for them to respond?
Yeah,
okay, so what do you want them? What is the main question that you want them to
I don't even know, because that's a really, really, really tricky one right there. I mean, I can try, but I can't promise you that spirit will give me the answer.
Like how long that they've been talking.
Yeah,
so they said 2 to 4 years. So maybe do a spread for like the 2 years and then do a 4 years.
I can try. Most of the time,
like Glover cards or anything.
Most of the time, spirit won't give me anything when I'm trying to look at something like that. If I'm trying to look at, because with what I do, I mean, there's all kinds of tarot readers out there who will read whatever you want, but I walk a very strict code of conduct with what I do, and I do not misuse divine energy at all. And if I'm walking a strict code of conduct without creating any karma, spirit won't give me any information that's going to hurt you. And very frequently, information like that is going to do nothing but hurt you. It's not going to help you. It's going to pull your vibration down lower. It's going to make it harder to heal. It's going to build more resentment and ultimately create more karma. So, I mean, like I said, I can try. I just can't promise anything. Usually when I try to answer a question like that, a spread comes out that makes like literally no fucking sense. Like it'll be the most nonsensical spread that makes absolutely no sense. And then that's when I know spirit's telling me no. So, I mean, maybe we can contact that person in the email and see if...
Well, yeah, you can either respond in the comments or you can email me or I'll email you and then you can just respond to me.
You can probably go ahead and timestamp that too.
I am so they can hear what we have to say. All right, I'll email you and then check your emails. I'll write you back. Okay. Next, we're going to do Debbie, who's a Virgo. And it says, see anyone in my future?
Okay, well, so how long have you been single? Are you in the chat? I can see what's due to come in, but without really knowing what your energetic pathway is, it'll be extremely general, extremely. There's some past energy. I had a feeling. Well, I mean, without really knowing much about your path right now, or much about how long you've been single or anything like that, it kind of feels like there's somebody you should have already been with. That's what that kind of feels like. So that would kind of indicate to me.
Oh, sorry. She said, off and on for 7 years. I was in a relationship for 3 years, but basically friends with benefits.
Okay, yeah. So that's what this is here. So that would mean that makes sense now. That's why I like to know that kind of stuff, because I think that you completed a specific contract with someone at some point in the past, and if it was completed, so the first time you went off, it was supposed to stay off, and at that point, it was time for you to attract your divine life partner. But since something happened with a past person with this Tower card reversed here, and the loneliness and codependency energy, there's been a lot of energetic blockages. But I think it's been time for your person to come in. So, yeah, we got the 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups reversed. So, yeah, I mean, let me see what the next spread says. Yeah, World card. So now we're still, I think, kind of lingering in limbo land a little bit energetically. This is one of those things, and usually there's a window of time, usually, and it's different for everybody. But you don't want to wait too long, because you could pass it up, in which case it's not the end of the world. But if you do pass up the original person that you picked to be a divine life partner, if you pass that up and the timeline is too late, then what has to happen is the universe has to do what I call the good old switcheroo, and has to bring somebody else in to take their place. So, yeah, I mean, there's your person right there. I think that it's been for at least probably the last 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, that window has been open for you to have already attracted that person. So, yeah, that's where, so the future is kind of really rocky. There's a lot of timelines ahead of you right now. Did it say how long she's been single as of now, though? Did it say that?
She said,
It said on and off for 7 years.
I still see the past guy. He needs to be gone 3 years ago, but I loved him.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's definitely serving as a major energetic blockage, big time. So it's hard to say right now. Best case scenario would not be an easy path. It would be a very challenging path. And, you know, it's possible that the universe could make it so that you have no choice but to take that path. And that sucks. I've been there before. But where you pretty much just hit rock bottom. And, you know, You're basically, when you hit rock bottom, then it's just rock bottom. But then after that, if you take a healing path, you're rebuilt into a completely unrecognizable version of yourself. And then that's how you could attract a divine life partner, even if it's not the original person you picked. Do you remember when Tracy said that that's what happened with us?
What?
Tracy, when she was giving me a reading one time, she said that my original person couldn't get her shit together. So that's why you stepped in to take the role of that. You remember that?
No.
Yeah. You don't remember that?
No.
That's what she said.
When did she say that?
That was like back in 2020.
So you were supposed to be with someone else?
She said your person couldn't get her shit together.
I wonder if that's your baby mama.
No, absolutely not. No.
But I mean, she didn't get her shit together, so
no, absolutely not. Absolutely.
You
I don't know
think
who it
it
could.
could've
No,
been?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I ain't no fucking way.
you don't speculate,
Uh,
or it could have been just somebody you'd never met because they never got their shit together.
yeah, possibly. I don't know. Is that even true? I don't know. But it is a thing. It does happen, and I think it happens more frequently than we would know. But because we live in a multi-dimensional fucking matrix, you know. If you're on just this one vibrational frequency and you pass up your timeline, okay, well, you have set up a vast multiplicity of backup plans to switch you to a new timeline, a new dimension. There's countless parallel universes and dimensions going on around us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, it's really hard to say right now because that's been kind of held up. But it's possible. It is possible, and it would be a challenging path. Like I said, I've been there, and it's very challenging, and it sucks. It does usually require some alone time and some healing and some grieving, and it sucks, but it's possible. There is definitely somebody walking the face of this earth that, if you vibrationally align with them, could serve as a divine life partner, 100%.
And I think that's like a hard thing to understand is like vibrationally match somebody's frequency. Like if someone told me that like 6 years ago, I'd be like, what? Like, what does that mean?
I know, that's why I try so hard to explain it.
Yeah, so those of you who are kind of like that and you don't really know, that's exactly why Rich has that course out right now, the Manifestation for Beginners. And in that course, he breaks down what's vibration, what's frequency, what is like, what was it? Like you break down manifesting or where we got programmed things. And it's like, he simplifies it in a way that you can understand it. And I think it's really good for people who are new to these words. And I know like we hear these words a lot and it's kind of like, wait, what even really is that? So if you guys are like how I was, then this course right here is definitely going to help you. Let me put it in the comments.
Yeah, that keeps me up at night. That's what drives me so insane is there's countless people out there teaching. Oh God, you can find thousands of people out there teaching, but of all the people teaching, how many people truly understand what they're hearing? Not many.
Mm-hmm.
Not many. And you have to really be fucking thirsty for that knowledge to eventually be able to wrap your mind around it. Well, I think it should, we need to come up with a way to help everybody fucking understand it. Everybody. I don't care how smart you are, how dumb you are. I don't care how spiritual you are or what, to be able to understand it. And that's what keeps me up at night. That's what the weight that's been on my shoulders for 7 straight years now.
Well, it's not common knowledge, and it should be. Like, that's what we should be putting in schools, is like things like that, or, you know.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother can of worms for another day. But yeah, definitely. If I watched that course when I was on the, like, before I met you, I think that would have helped me so much.
Cool.
So yeah, I do highly recommend that course.
Cool.
And I don't think that one's that much. It's under 20. I think it's 15.
15, yeah.
$15?
Like $15 bucks.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that helps. And thank you. Next, we're going to do Amanda, who's a Scorpio. And it says, what do I need to know about my twin flame coming back towards me? He's a Sag who chose a demonic third party, Capricorn. My twin flame reached out to me 2 nights ago after a year and a half of no contact. Just wondering what his intentions are.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I've seen in my career is that if you are indeed dealing with a real twin flame connection, I've seen very few real twin flames who actually stay together in their whole lifetime. I think off the top of my head, I can only count like 3 real twin flames, which twin flame connection is very rare. That's very, very rare. There's only a little handful of beings on this planet who are actually playing that game. But of all of them that I've come across, the majority of them don't stay in union for many different reasons. But let's see. Let me just see, I guess, the person's intentions. Devil card, sex-based connection. Moon card, there's the Saggy card in the reverse, indicating you're dealing with a very low vibrational, emotionally manipulative game player that wants a sex-based connection. Yeah, so it don't look good. It don't look good. I don't think this person is I don't even think this person's emotionally mature enough to settle down with anyone. You know, this feels like a good old classic case of I can't find a sex partner, so I'm going to go back to people I've been with before and see if they'll give me another chance. That's what that feels like. So let me see what the second spread says.
Oh, and then she also said, as soon as I decided to walk from my twin flame in the divine, dropped in a soulmate who's a Leo. I've been with him since December 2023. Oh, so you're in a relationship right now? Or you're with somebody right now? And then the twin flame's coming back around? Oh, hell no. Hell to the no.
7 of Cups. Like I said, I think this person, for whatever reason, feels like they ran out of options. You know, and you see that a lot.
She's not an option no more either, so he better just bye-bye.
Men are horrible about that. And men always get mad at me when I say this. And it's usually little loser-ass men that can't get laid. But
little dick energy.
90% of the time when a man comes back, especially if he's the one that walked away, it's because he can't find nobody else 90% of the time. So yeah, that's what I think is going on here. I don't know if like maybe somebody he left you for, it just fell through and didn't turn out to be any better than you or what, but he's afraid that he has no options and he doesn't want to be alone. Because he's a very, very low vibrational Sag. So I didn't look for it, but I didn't see any twin flame energy come through this reading, by the way. I wasn't looking for it, but I didn't see that card at all. All right, you want to do the next one?
Mm-hmm. What's up, Jordan? Your moderator, Jordan's in here. Jordan, you are so awesome. You are such a good moderator. I just want to give you a shout out and say thank you so much for all you do. He's always in your in your videos.
I'll be seeing it because when I'm live, I do not look at the chat at all.
Yeah.
I look straight into my own eyes. And sometimes I'll see like a big string of comments just get deleted. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's a troll in here. Okay.
Jordan's always be on patrol. Okay. He be patrolling every single night.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even know if there was a troll in the chat because I don't look at it. I don't see it at all because it's distracting. Yeah. It's distracting, trying to pay attention to what everybody's saying and paying attention to the message that I'm it's too distracting. I have a message to put out there, you know? Right. So the only way I know there's a troll in the chat is I start seeing delete, everything getting deleted. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, and then also, yeah, the Virgo reading is gonna get redone.
Yeah,
Just so you
yeah.
guys know.
She just brought that to my attention that there was no audio.
Yeah,
on the
someone
Virgo
just
reading.
said, just so you're aware, there's.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you, whoever was sending the super chats. I think there was like 2 super chats because when we open up the YouTube studio, there's kind of like a list of everybody who sent a super chat and like what their note was. So I saw that there was like 2 little super chats that said unmute or like we can't hear you, and I was like, what video is that?
It wasn't on mute. I don't know what that could have been.
That's so weird.
I'm trying to think. Unless,
Murky fucking Metro.
Yeah, it's every time Mercury retrograde. Unless some device connected to my Bluetooth is the only thing I could think. Like maybe did you start your car down there or something? Maybe is that when you and Nevaeh left?
Are you connected to my car?
Yeah. Yeah, I connected it.
But then wouldn't it be? It wouldn't do the microphone in our car then, would it? I don't know how that shit works.
Murky fucking Metro.
Maybe
dude.
it was your microphone.
Murky Metro every time. But then every video after that, every video before that, and every video after that was just fine.
I don't know.
And I was doing them back to back to back. It was just that one video.
Well, maybe it wasn't the right message.
Murky fucking Metro, dude.
Murky
Every time. Without fail. Always something.
All right. Next is for Veronica. Veronica is a Leo. Is the soul contract complete with my ex-husband who's a Cancer? We are still friends. 0 romantic feelings.
Well, I could probably tell you, yeah. I'll look into it and see, but that would be a really good indication that if there's no romantic feelings and you're amicable and cool and everything's straight, that is a really good indication of a completed soul contract. Really good. Could be wrong. So let me dig into it and see. But my question, and this is just something, why, if everything is cool, then why does it matter? If there's no feelings and everything's good and the energy is good, why does it matter? That's what you want to think about, is the energy. If the energy is good, then that means everything is good. If it feels good energetically, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Let's see. Yep. And actually, it strung on a little bit longer than it was supposed to. So I think it was completed before it even ended. So it's good that if you all really did work through that energy the way that you did, because most people don't do that. Most people don't do that. But that's pretty impressive to be able to string it on like that, to the point to where if it hadn't ended when it did, you might have had another 6 months, and the universe was about to rip the rug and kick the fucking tower over and force the two of you apart. And for the two of you to be able to part ways in the middle of that energy and then still process it and release it to the point where you're cool and there's no feelings, no romantic feelings, your friends, and the energy is wiped clean, that's impressive. You don't see that very often. But again, for future reference, when it comes to anything, when it comes to any kind of connection, when it comes to any kind of, friendship, family, relationships, if you can really, really, really dig deep and you feel clear energy, no unfinished business, everything's good and clear, you're good. You're good.
She said, so we shouldn't be friends. We have kids.
No. The original contract of why the two of you were together. So, like, if the two of you have parted ways now, then it's the soul contract with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, the soul contract is more towards you and the kids and him and the kids. So, I mean, no, if there's no, like I said, energetically, if nothing is getting in the way, if the universe isn't fighting against you, you're good. That's how you know, that's how you navigate life. Is the universe fighting against me? You know, there's something fighting me here. And am I being pushed away from something? Am I being pushed to do something? That's how you kind of navigate what I should and shouldn't be doing. But everything's going smooth, you're good.
She said, we've been divorced 7 years.
No, you're good. As long as everything's flowing smooth and the universe ain't fighting against you, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And even at that, I don't even want to dig up the next layer of that because I'll be talking for a half hour. But nothing fighting against you. Everything's going smooth. Everything's fine. Everything's good. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You don't need to question anything. You're straight.
So that means that the soul contract is complete because there's no like animosity and stuff, right?
Yeah. The original contract to have a relationship. And like a lot of times when you see stuff like that, the main reason, whenever two people come together and have kids and then it's time to part ways, the main reason why that usually happens is because the entity on the other side or entities picked very specific avatars, you know, because you pick your whole avatar before you get in here, and the universe has to line it up perfectly, and so that the right sperm and the right egg come together perfectly to create that avatar, you know. And then once that's done, and then once the entities have the avatar created that they chose, then it's done. Okay, now we don't even need to be together anymore. That was the main reason why we came together, and you part ways. So, yeah.
Interesting.
You.
Okay, next we have Laura. Laura, are you in the chat? Laura is a Sagittarius, and question is, what do you see/feel about my love life?
I need to know the status of your love life right now. Are you single, in a relationship, on and off with somebody? What's the dealio?
Single.
How long you been single?
X is contacting me, but I'm a bit over it. 5 months.
5 months, okay. All right. Well, if you're over it, first things first, you trust what you feel. Period. If you feel over it, trust that.
Period.
Don't let nobody manipulate you. Don't let nobody try to guilt trip you. Nah, fuck that. If you feel over it, you're over it. And we'll, cross the next bridge when you get to it. But I'm not sure what. So about your love life, that's a general question. So I guess I can look at the past soul contract.
She said there's still a tie, but it's dissolving.
So you listen to that. Page 1. Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah, so that soul contract is 100% complete. And I don't really think you have anything miscellaneous due to come in, but you'll probably be tested a few times with the 7 of Cups. You'll probably be tested a few times. And best case scenario, you learned all your spiritual lessons. You're in tune with yourself, and then the next thing that would come in would be extremely successful on a totally different level. So 5 months, that's a good little period of time. That's a good period of time.
She said looking forward to the future connection.
I would at least give yourself 1 year. At least give yourself 1 year, because when a lot of people get mad when I say this, I don't care. It's the truth. You're not going to completely release something in under a year. It's not going to happen. Completely releasing an energetic tie doesn't mean I'm not thinking about it anymore. It doesn't mean that I forgot about it. It's a lot deeper than that. A whole lot deeper than that. And it's like you're not going to rebuild the engine of a car in under a day. It's just not going to happen. And so you want to at least give yourself a year of just telling yourself, I'm on a new path right now and I'm getting comfortable with my new path. Because remember, the primary law is the law of vibration. So the primary goal is your vibration. It's not a relationship we're looking for. We're looking for love, happiness, and abundance. Where most people are screwing up is they think they have to get the relationship in order to create love, happiness, and abundance. And that's not the way it works. You attract according to the frequency in which you vibrate. So we have to work on finding love, happiness, and abundance in here. And that's hard. It's really, really hard. And you'll probably get tested a few times. Like I said, I mean, most people are tested more than once. Best case scenario, you won't even realize you were being tested. Worst case scenario, you get sucked into something and repeat a past cycle. But if you pass every single test the universe puts in front of you, then I could see in the next year to 2 years, you attracting a divine life partner, 100%. You're moving up through the different frequencies right now. So you're making a frequency change. You're going from 93.1 to 107.7. So in between 93.1 and 107.7, there's a lot of frequencies you have to move through. You got to go from 93.1 to 94.6 to 98.9 to 101.2 and on and on and on. And then as you move into one frequency, somebody will cross your path. And then as you move into another frequency, another person will cross your path. And again, best case scenario, you won't even realize it. Some people never even realize it. You know, like example, you get a friend request on Facebook, you hit accept, and then ding, hey, sexy.
Or that annoying wave.
Right. Just an example. Best case scenario, you go, fuck that, block. Never even realize you were being tested. Worst case scenario, ooh, somebody thinks I'm sexy. Ooh, how you doing? Suck back in and repeat a past cycle. And there's everything in between. That's just a corny cheese ball example. Corny example, but, you know, stuff like that. You'll be tested. And like I said, most people are tested more than once. Most people fall somewhere in the middle where it's like, okay, well, this feels a little bit funny, but I'll acquiesce to seeing what this person's about. And we'll talk a little bit. We might go out a couple of times and it's just not feeling right. So I don't really think we're a vibe. So I'm going to back away from this. And you still pass the test. So yeah, pass every test the universe puts in front of you. By the time 2030 gets here, you will probably have already laid a solid foundation with something very successful. Was that the first spread? How many spreads did I pull? I don't even remember.
I don't know, but that was a 6 minutes. So if you were
okay.
Well, I don't know. Did he do?
Well, I mean, that's pretty much everything I needed to say.
No, I think that was your second one because your first one, you were asking about how long.
Okay.
I don't know, you guys.
I'm so damn tired.
I'm so tired. I'm like not even paying attention. I'm like spaced out. If that was only one spread though, I don't want you to just get one spread. Double check. Stand by one. Everybody. I think I have it open on here. Are you pulling another one?
Yep.
What if you already did two? Merry Christmas. You get a third. I get a third.
Just pretty much says the same thing.
Okay.
Pretty much says the same thing. We got the past person here, right here, which you already told me about, so we don't need to know that. And again, you'll be tested. A couple of different ways to show that. And boom, you got this waiting for you on the horizon. It's just a matter of, like I said, whether you're ready for it. Don't feel intimidated when you hear that there's a test coming. Because if you're not at a place to pass the test, it wouldn't work with your divine life partner anyway. Because if you're not ready for it, it won't work. If you're not in the right headspace or the right heart space or in the right vibrational alignment, I could give you that person's name and address and you could knock on their door. Nothing would come of it. You wouldn't even be able to hold a conversation with that person. So it's all good. You got good stuff waiting for you on the horizon.
Okay, next is for Megan. Megan is a Libra. I've had an on and off, again, connection with someone I just can't let go of. What is our soul contract? My birthday is 10/16/88. His is 5/14/93. Kind of similar. Oh, a little bit similar to our birthdays. The years.
Yeah. 5 of Pentacles. Empress reversed.
The sage is delivered. Just in the nick of time.
Empress reversed. So, I mean, this was a completed contract with the Empress reversed. Very likely the first time you parted ways, it was completed. Very likely. That's one of those things where, you know, it can be very difficult to release something, extremely difficult. And then after a certain point, you have to know where to draw the line. You know, you have to, at some point, be able to step back and say, okay, well, every single time you come into my life, this is what happens. So that means that if I keep playing the same game, I'm going to keep winning the same prize. And if I keep bringing you into my life, then it's going to keep looping around, and it will too. I know y'all hear me tell this story sometimes, but I know one couple in particular has been on and off for 15 years. 15 years. 15 years. And they were on and off for like 8 years. And then they got married. And then they got divorced. And then they got back together again. And that was like 4 years ago. And in the last 4 years, I've seen them go on and off like 5 times. And they're still on and off. Last time I checked, I think, matter of fact, I'm curious. Where's my phone?
Are these the things for your teeth,
I'm curious. Let me see.
babe?
Huh?
Are these the things for your teeth?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yep, they're back on now. So, yeah, it's just on and off. And it'll do that. It will do that. It's one of those things that you can go, once you complete a contract, you can keep going on and off your whole life. And you'll probably come back in the next lifetime and try it again. Or you can, at the end of the day, you can't force yourself to do something you're not ready for. You know, you have to be at that point where repeating the cycle hurts worse than letting go. And until you're at that point, then there's no point in letting go. You're better off repeating the cycle until you get to that point. Because if you just, it's not going to work. So it's completed. Let me see what the second spread says. Is that all that came from me? Was my teeth thingies? Oh,
No,
my truck
your
thing?
Truck thing, and then I think my sage is in the mailbox.
Oh. Okay.
So we'll get that after we're done with this.
7 of Wands reversed. Oh, yeah. See, World card, completed contract. Okay, so yeah, it's complete. Most of the time, from what I've seen, probably about 75% of the time, when a relationship is on and off, it's usually because the contract is complete. Not always, but more often than not. So yeah, it's definitely complete. But like I said, when it all comes down to it, you're not going to let go until you're ready. You're not going to let go until you would rather experience the pain of letting go than the pain of repeating the cycle. I've been there. I know how it feels. I'm real sensitive to that kind of shit. I can't do that. That repeating the cycle shit. To me, I'd rather go through the pain of letting go and walking away than the pain of repeating that cycle again, But everybody's different. So hopefully you're able to find the light at the end of the tunnel.
All right, so next is for Veronica. Again, she was the one who bought this one about the ex-husband and they're still friends. So now her question is my life partner due anytime soon? Dated off and on since my divorce.
It's usually difficult to get a time frame on that. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can get a time frame, but you're not going to find them while you're looking for them. That only happens when you least expect it. It's the only time it can happen. And that's when I had that in my course, How to Attract Your Life Partner. and it's broken down and explained in a way that actually makes sense. Because you hear people say that all the time, but you don't understand why. And I break it down and explain why. The energetic mechanics behind the way energy behaves in this matrix and the quantum physics behind it as to why the only time it can happen is when you're not expecting it. It's the only time it can happen.
Is that in your course too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, the science of manifestation is in the financial one.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't put the science in the life partner one, but.
No, I'm talking about the beginner's guide to manifestation.
No. That's not in the beginner's guide. That's too confusing for a beginner.
Oh, okay.
Plus, the science it's not mandatory that you know that. I just have that for the people, for the really, really, really logical brained, critical, analytical thinking people. To where, you can sit and listen to me explain the energy and the woo-woo and the this and that, but there's some people who are just still so critical that if there's not a scientist in a white lab coat explaining how it works, then they're not going to listen to it. Well, I learned it from a former NASA scientist. There are scientists that explain it. They're just, scientists can't explain that stuff or they'll lose their funding. It's not mainstream science. Scientists will get in trouble if they tell you how that works. Anyway, though, yeah, we do have the Lover's card right here. So, yeah, I would say so. I would say that any time now that you are able to step into that vibrational alignment, anytime, it could potentially happen in the next year, depending on your energy and your frequency. It very well could. It very well could. Let me see what the next spread says. Oh, 9 of Swords. Yeah. Little bit of an energetic blockage. And no, that's not the past person, so that's good. So the past person isn't serving as a blockage. There's just a little bit of a vibrational blockage. You see, Hangman reversed, Ace of Cups. As soon as you find yourself not waiting for it and not looking for it. But let me at least give you this much. I don't have time to dig up the whole can of worms, but I'll give you this much. When you hear people say that you'll find your person when you stop looking for them, yes, that's true, but there's a lot of missing puzzle pieces in that statement. It's not just simply whether you're looking for it or not. It's not quite that simple, because I think we've all met that person who swore off relationships 30 years ago and they crawled into a corner and died alone. Well, they weren't looking for it. Then why didn't they meet their person? Because of the vibration that they were in. When two divine life partners come together, it's always when they're not looking for it, when they're not expecting it, and in the craziest, most fucked up, insane way that they never would have been able to figure out in a million years. The question is why? Because they matched the vibration of love and abundance. That's why. See, think about it this way. When you have a void in your stomach, all you think about is food, right? But when the void is full, food is the last thing on your mind. When you have a void in your heart, all you think about is love and relationships. But when the void in your heart is full, relationships are the last thing on your mind. The difference, though, between the void in your stomach and the void in your heart is the void in your stomach is a real physical thing, and the void in your heart is not. If you have a real physical void in your heart, you ain't waking up. It's an energetic thing. It's an illusion. There is no void. This is the problem. In order for your soul to exist in this dimension, your vibration has to be astronomically fucking low. So low that you experience spiritual amnesia. You forget who you are and what you're doing here. The amnesia is what creates the illusion of separation. You appear to be separate from and apart from everyone around you, and you're not. We're all one. The illusion of separation is what in turn creates the illusion that we have this empty, lonely void that's in our hearts. And we don't. We do not. And then to pour salt on that wound, they programmed us to believe that the only way to fill that void is for somebody to come love you and fill it for you. Long story short. Well, here's the kicker. There is no void. All there is a low vibration. It's not a void. You're not incomplete. You're not empty. You don't need anything to complete you or fill that void because there is no void. That's the trick. So what most people are doing is they're walking around with a low vibration that they think is a void, but it's not. So they're trying to fill a void that's not a void. It's just a low vibration. So all they're doing is attracting people that match that vibration and manifesting relationships that match that vibration. So when people end up filling that void, all they're doing is raising their vibration. And then they become fulfilled from within. And that doesn't mean that you just go be alone. I'm not saying relationships aren't important. I'm saying that once that void starts to fill and your vibration starts to raise, and you start feeling that feeling of abundance and love from within, you don't feel like you need anyone. Most relationships are held together by some sort of need. You know, most of them are brought together. Now, when you and your person come together and you build something and you build a life that needs the two of you, that's a different story. But when the two people first come together, usually the glue binding people is some sort of need. I need someone to talk to. I need someone to keep me company. I need someone, need is a vibration of lack. And once that energy is gone and you don't need anyone, then that's when you understand what a real connection is. Because now we're here out of pure potential, if that makes sense. I hope I didn't make it too confusing, but anywho.
Okay, so yeah, I hope that helps. She said, so get off dating apps quickly. Because that was a long one there. That was basically almost a personal reading.
Just watch your vibration. Watch your vibration behind it. Just pay attention to your frequency. That's all I'll say.
I don't trust nobody on dating apps. I mean, I don't go on there, but I personally, when I would go on there, I don't trust none of them.
When I was on dating sites, all I was looking for was some booty. And that's most men that I know. But you never know.
They're either looking for booty or they're ugly and can't get nobody. All right. Anyways, next is for Aisha. How do you say that name? Aisha? Or Aisha? Okay, and then she's a Scorpio. I have been displaced from a position that I have worked hard for because of toxic people. Should I quit? Will I get the similar paying job? And how soon? So I was trying to see if she was in the chat so we could find out which one does she want read. Which one of those questions?
I'm going to look at your path. I'm not going to be able to answer all those questions. That's a bunch of questions there. And how soon, that's really hard to answer. It might come through, but timelines are so slippery that's challenging to just answer that on command. Sometimes it comes through, but so I wouldn't say just quit. No, I wouldn't say that. The reason why the displacement happened is because that wasn't part of your path, number one. Number two, because no matter what you do, you're going to be divinely guided away from that in the next year or two anyways, no matter what you do, with the Six of Swords there. So no, I wouldn't just say quit and then go look for another job. What I would do is I would go knock on new doors, and then if you get one to open, then quit. But you're on a path right now where you're being divinely guided away from that anyways. I'd give it about a 30 to 40% chance that no matter what you do, you won't be working there a year from now. And then that chance goes up every year. I'd give it after that about a 50 to 60% chance that no matter what you do, you ain't gonna be working there 2 years from now. And I'm giving this a lot of leverage too. A lot of leverage in these statistical numbers that I'm giving you, because you're being divinely guided away from that anyways. So it wasn't quite part of your path, like I said. And a lot of times I see this a lot in career readings where if your cycle is going to be wrapping up and coming to a completion sometime soon, the universe is not going to let you get comfortable. or is not going to let anything happen that's going to make you want to dig your roots in. When it's like, you ain't going to be here much longer, so I'm not going to let you get comfy. Because the more comfortable you are, the more you will fight against the transitionary process. See what I'm saying?
You said, what should I do then?
I just told you what you should do.
Well, she said that like a minute ago. So you probably already said it.
I would explore other options first. And if you get a new door to open, then quit. But even if you do that, that will still most likely be temporary as well, because you're being prepared for something very different. You're being divinely guided away from that anyway. So even if you did move away from that right now, it would just be a little stepping stone to something else. So that's what I would do, is I would say, all right, universe dude, I'm going to go knock on some doors.
Universe dude?
Yeah, I call the universe dude. All right, universe dude, I'm going to go knock on some doors, and I'm trusting that if you open one, you're cool with that. So that's what I call knocking on doors. You fill out an application, that's a knock on a door. You never hear anything, you give them a call, that's another knock on a door. When you take action towards something. If the door don't open, I'm like, all right, universe, I guess you don't want to open that door for me. Let me go find another one. And then sometimes no fucking door will open. And that's when I'm like, all right, universe, I'm guessing this is where you want me. All right, cool. So.
She said, but I don't want them to fire me. I'm exploring. I'm super confused what to choose. Well, we don't give career options if that's what you're asking.
No.
Since he's not like a full-on psychic, he can't see like what you're going to be doing. If that's what you're asking, not
sure. Only that, but even if I could, where we're going, it wouldn't make sense anyways. Because
we just had that talk with our daughter yesterday about if somebody told him when he was 14 that he's going to be standing in front of a phone or whatever and flipping tarot cards, it wouldn't make any sense because one, there wasn't even cell phones that you could even record with. Yeah. Live streaming was not like a thing. Tarot cards were probably like so unheard of. I mean, they weren't unheard of because I think they've actually gone back for quite some time. But like, it wouldn't have made any sense. So similarly, I think that doesn't make sense because it's probably not even something that's even in our awareness yet.
Yeah.
So think about like, I'm not saying it's gonna take you 14 years, but that's like what we were telling our daughter, like when she gets older, like if she knew what it was, it probably would be like, what? I don't even, how is that even possible? Or, something like that.
Yep. That's it. But I mean, like I said, I would, if I was you, I would either stay where I'm at or I would start exploring other options first. You don't just quit first. You don't just do that.
It sounds like she's going to get fired. She says she doesn't want them to fire her.
Well, then start exploring other options.
Yeah.
Because
you just have to go into it knowing it's temporary.
You're going to have to be exploring other options anyways. So you may as well hang on to it while you got it and explore other options rather than just quit. I mean, if you do get fired, you get fired. I'm not seeing that. I mean, I am seeing that it's straddling on that line. It is straddling on the line of that, but you're being guided away from that anyways.
Maybe since there are toxic people, you're like not a vibrational match. Yeah. So it's like universe is doing you a favor and moving you away from that environment. You're like, you're just not a frequency match to it. So I feel like that's why it's happening.
Yeah. But more than likely, next year, this will be the last thing on your mind. You'll be good. You'll be straight to the gate a year from today. This will be a fart in a whirlwind. This will be a story that you're just telling people. You'll be good. But you do what you want to do. But when it comes to the advice I give, I never, ever tell anyone to just quit their job. Ever. I'm never going to tell anyone that. If you do that, that's on you. I would recommend that you see if you can get a door to open first. And then if a new door opens, then quit. Because it's the way I've always done it. I don't ever want to just quit. Why just quit? If they're going to fire you anyway, then just let them fire you. Go look
they don't have a reason to fire her.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wouldn't ever advise just simply quitting because one or two things happens. Best case scenario, they don't fire you. And what if you don't get a new door to open? Worst case scenario, you quit, you don't get a new door to open. Then you're fucked, So you're being prepared for something different that you're not quite ready for yet. It's not time for that yet.
No.
So any door you do get to open would just be a little temporary stepping stone between there and there. So.
All right, hope that helps. And that does wrap up our list for part 1. We will be back at 4 p.m. Pacific time for part 2. And feel free to get on our list and order during the break. And then you'll be read first for part 2.
Yep.
So all that will be in the comments. Timestamps with your name in the comments. All that good stuff. So we will be back later. Thank you, everybody.
Doses.